Unfortunately, this is the end.
You know the Vibras?
Because we know the Vibras. Welcome back to another episode of the You Know the Vibras podcast. I'm the one and only Wanda Don. And as always, I'm accompanied by Michael Carrasco.
What up? What up? Man, it's been a
As
minute.
you guys, facts. As you guys see in the title, unfortunately, this is the end
Mhm.
of our
Our
trips.
big- Yeah. Sadly.
Sadly but
Unfortunately.
true. Yeah.
Man, we've been going for a little bit, man.
Facts.
we
It's
just-
the thing was our trips kind of like intertwined.
right.
When I finished,
I was
were
starting.
exactly. Yeah.
It was I mean, for you guys that have been wondering where we were both on, I would say, kind of like long trips, well-deserved vacation, after I feel like both of our ends, we've been having pretty good years when it comes to, self-development, work and all that stuff. And I feel like this were well-deserved trips for the both of us. Uh, Also, I can't let it slide. For you guys that didn't say happy birthday to Juan de Don, make sure you guys say happy belated birthday in the comment section. He just turned what 20, 25 now?
Yeah.
Oh
I was
man,
gonna test
welcome
you,
to the
see what's
club.
up, man. I ain't gonna
Welcome to the
lie.
club.
I ain't gonna lie. I know people might bash me on this, but I feel older now. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I feel like 25 is that age
facts.
that like kind of
Yeah. Nah, I agree. I feel
Yeah.
like when I turned 25, like, 22,
This man
23,
saying it like it was a long
24, I
time
didn't
ago.
really pay it no mind. But once you turn 25, it's kind of was like, oh shit. 30s are
Yeah.
like right around the corner. And I feel 25 is when I really started taking things a little bit more serious as well. So I mean, it's a good overall 25. I feel like it's a good age. You're gonna enjoy it. For me, it was, I would say, kind of like that grow up year where I started focusing more on the things that I needed to focus.
Yeah.
And but to overall, man, happy belated birthday. I wish we got to celebrate, together. But maybe 26 we can do that.
Nah, for sure. But yeah, man, we like I said, I mean, my trip was mostly inspired on the. I mean, honestly, I feel like I was working a lot and just wanted to like reset,
Mhm.
but more so I did it. I
Right.
try to do a birthday trip every once in a while. Well, I try to do it every
Right.
year now, make it a tradition. But
Right.
I feel like I kind of want to break the tradition a little bit, and in the future, not just go to Dominican Republic. I kind of want to do something else in the
Like a
near
different
future.
country,
And
different.
but I'll touch on my time in Dominican Republic in a few. I wanna talk to you, man. You did
Mhm.
something way out of your comfort zone. I'd say something super different.
Yeah.
Talk to everybody about your trip and
Man,
how it went from the beginning to the end, man. I'm curious.
this was, I would say, the longest flight I've been in. 16 hours. Here's a trick for you guys. If you guys are going, let's say, overseas, maybe London, Europe, Asia, anywhere that's going to take longer than 12 hours, flight at night. That way you arrive during the day over there. That's I would say that's my
Pro tip.
trick. Pro tip. Yeah. But nah, man, beautiful. Went to the Philippines. Was with got to meet the girlfriend's family over there. Also got to enjoy two sides of the Philippines, both like the city life in the Philippines as well as the resort type of thing, the more touristy stuff. But I would say the hardest thing was just the flight getting there, just super long. You come in, you're tired. Uh, Flying at night for sure definitely helped with the jet lag, where I wasn't so jet lag just because I slept uh, through the most of the trip. And then when we got there, it was early during the day, so we still got to do little stuff, and then got back and rested.
Right.
But to start it out, city life, we were Metro Manila, in the Philippines. Uh, Only thing bad thing I can say about it is the traffic.
Hmm. Hmm.
Is the traffic. Apart from that, super amazing experience. Um, One thing that I do got a bone to pick with the U.S. is this overseas countries are they do more right. We went to I think in the area that we were, there's probably about like 10, 15, maybe 20 plus different malls that you can go to, and they all huge. When I'm
Really?
telling you, yeah, bro, like 3, 4, 5 floors. But I say they do it right in the sense is that like over here, let's say you want to eat something on the mall, it's mainly like, you got your McDonald's, you got your Burger King, maybe you have like your Chick-fil-A, but it's not
Your
really, I mean,
Japanese thing, steakhouse,
right, right, like the
hibachi,
teriyaki chicken, the hibachi little
pizza
thing.
place.
Correct, correct. The Philippines step it up, at least from what I saw. Like you have full on sit down restaurants inside of the malls. Like you can have a very nice meal and then you can go shopping. And I feel like shopping after a meal makes you feel like happy. You actually want to go shopping. You you kind of like consume the calories
Yeah,
that you just ate as well. And
I think you're right, bro. Because
yeah,
in
man.
DR, I noticed that too. The I mean, obviously the malls and like in DR have restaurants as well.
Right.
And that's something that you don't really now that I think about it here in the United States, you don't really see it like any sit down
Right,
restaurants
right. It's
within the
more like
restaurants.
fast food thing. Like,
But
which I get it.
no, and no, and something else. I mean, apart from the mall, that you were, I mean, restaurants in general. I feel like I don't know if you went to restaurants in the Philippines, but in DR,
Mhm.
um, man, it's like it impresses me how advanced. Not I wouldn't say advanced, but how much pride they take in the architecture of the restaurant, but also like the interior
Right.
design of the restaurant
Yes.
and the professionalism from the servers as well. I feel like
I agree.
the restaurants over there definitely are very more impressive. I'd say, in my
Mhm.
opinion. Um,
Nah, I can agree to that because even when a few years ago when I went to Canada, it was the same way. I was in a really touristy area, which really got me to feel more that like experience. But you could see like you went to a restaurant and they were all nice, everything was nice and clean. Of course, you got your different levels. You got your like not as expensive restaurants where it's okay to see a little mess here and there, but for the most part, most of the restaurants clean. Everybody was nice. Servers were nice. Nobody was really being rude to you. Same thing in the Philippines. Everybody was super nice, and like I said, just because over here, like I mentioned earlier, you don't experience that like going to the mall, having a very good meal, and then maybe walk around for an hour or so and do some shopping. Which I think if we were to do that here in the States, it's gonna bring a lot more business to the malls because people after you eat, you don't really want to drive. Maybe you want to go walk around for an hour since you're already in the mall. Walk around for an hour, maybe do some shopping, and it'll be good for the economy. I think in general.
nah, but nah, I think that's something definitely to definitely keep an eye on. I'd say is
Right,
that the malls here should definitely add something to them like that, like more of a sit down restaurant type of. But then again, people are just you got to think about it, bro. Here
right,
is different. Like people just when they go to the mall, they're going to shop, and that's it. Nobody is really going
right,
to.
right, right.
So I guess
But
different cultures could be different. You know what I mean?
right. That's true as well. But I feel like as well, it's like if you had the option, Would you?
Yeah, but you don't want to be with all these bags and then, you know what I'm saying, sitting down at a restaurant.
That is
Just,
true. That is true.
you know what I
That
mean?
is a point there. I
Um,
do agree with that part.
and then also while you were talking, I thought about it. It's like the reason why. All right, so maybe my point isn't as valid as I thought it was in the
Mhm.
sense of with the restaurant difference I'd say between here and I mean the United States and Dominican Republic and any other or any
Mhm.
country, sorry. Um in the sense of, when you're a tourist, you kind of fit in those higher end restaurants, but like when you're here in the United States, like the higher end is like another
Right.
tier.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So it's like
Right.
maybe that's why we can't really
That
say
could be it
that,
as well.
because we
Yeah.
haven't went to those restaurants where the professionalism is there and where the interior is there. We stay
Mhm.
at the one that's like at our level. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
You know what? That's a valid point. That is a
yeah,
very valid point. But
yeah.
even though nowadays, man, you find like restaurants are affordable, at least like newer restaurants that are putting that effort into creating like a nice environment, nice ambiance. That way
Yeah, the
when you're
ambiance, yeah.
there, it's like you feel like you are in a
Eh,
five Michelin
yeah,
star
well, even think about
restaurant.
it. The ambiance and the interior is key for restaurants because not only is it appealing to the eye, but it's also something that helps them with marketing because when people are
Right.
taking pictures in their establishments, people are gonna want to go there. So it's free marketing in a
Facts.
sense. Because yeah, I
Facts.
went to a restaurant in DR. Man, I've never seen nothing like this before. Like the ambiance was so dope. It was cool, but like I never seen. It was these girls. They were having like a whole photo shoot. Like, like
In the
they're having a whole
restaurant.
in the restaurant, but like, bro, amongst people like eating. If that makes sense.
Mm,
Like they were next to, like they were in the middle, like next to other people's tables, just like taking pictures. I'm
take
like, bro,
pictures.
you having a whole photo shoot next to people you don't know. Like even like I
Right.
felt odd like being in the background of. I'm just like, bro, this is just weird, bro.
Do you throw it like, yo, I'm a celebrity. You
Like,
gotta pay me to be in the picture.
bro, it's just like damn. Some people don't really care about
That is true.
others. You know what I'm saying? They just like the world literally revolves around them, literally.
Correct.
But
What if you were like most wanted and then they happen to take a picture of you, now you have the feds
yeah,
behind you.
yeah,
Nah, I
nah,
do agree
man,
with that.
nah.
Yeah.
But I think that's essential though, man. That restaurants, are definitely because not only is the meal a big part, but also like the ambiance, like we talked about. Because when you feel like, man, this is nice, it kind of motivates you to also tip well as well. If you think
Yes,
about it, you
yes,
like,
100%.
what I'm saying, you want get aportar, like you want to put more towards the
Exactly. It's like I
you
like
know what
this
I mean?
place. I want you guys to stay open. And I
Yeah.
feel like you are less likely to complain when you are in a nice at a nice restaurant just because
Mhm.
you're in a good environment, everything looks nice. I automatically push you in like this sort of like happy mood where you're like, all right, oh, it's a little not bad. Okay.
Mhm. But and also like I talked about this before, but it definitely the one thing that did surprise me, like I said, I'm gonna talk about Dominican Republic later, but one thing
hmm
before I let you continue that
Yeah,
did
yeah, yeah.
surprise me is that at least the restaurants I went to,
hmm
the prices seem very similar to United States. Honestly,
You know what?
if not more. That's what I was gonna ask you. How
Yeah.
was the pricing in the Philippines, and what's the currency like over there? Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
when I was in
So
DR, I'm like, damn, I was not expecting to spend this at a sit down restaurant. But I was like, well, you know what? It's what it is. What it is. You're on vacation. It doesn't feel
exactly,
like it's your money anyway. So it's like,
exactly. That's already put aside. But when it comes to currency, is Filipino pesos, and it's the same value as Dominican pesos. So $1 is about 56,
really?
57, 57 pesos over there.
Hmm.
Uh, but for some reason, it felt super cheap. Um, like even like I bought some clothes over there. I mean, it's like $10 for a nice pair of pants that I decided to buy, and couple shirts and stuff like that. It felt cheap, man. Um, like out of pocket, I probably ended up spending like two, like shopping wise, like not even 200, man, like 150, like just shopping, and I got a decent amount of stuff. Food wise, there were restaurants that it was closer, like the little nicer ones were
Exactly. I think that's the thing. The
kind
nicer
of,
ones are gonna
yeah,
be, yeah.
exactly. But they were slightly cheaper, but it felt like I was paying you. We were paying U.S. prices. Um, but overall, good food, man. So, like you say, when you're on vacation, it's like, well, how often do I get to do this? Might as well do it. Yeah.
But
But
like,
go ahead.
no, but I was gonna ask you, like, was there anything while you were there that like truly surprised you? You know what I'm saying? Like, was there any first impressions or anything that like, or anything in general that surprised you? Something you weren't expecting from the
Man,
Philippines that you left and you're like, okay, now I know this about the Philippines.
yeah, yeah, yeah. First thing first, when I walked out of the airport, I thought I was in Dominican Republic. I literally thought it felt like as soon as you walk out of those door, that humidity and the hot weather hit you. I was
Yeah.
like, "Dang, are we?" I was like, "Are we sure we're in the Philippines?" But yeah, man. Honestly, like it really surprised me. It's like a lot of like there were parts I forgot I was in the Philippines. I almost started speaking Spanish to like the people, uh, just because you see like in DR, the little mopeds. That's like everybody method of transportation, motorcycles and stuff like that. That's exactly what you saw over there. That's essentially the main method of transportation, unless you are in the nicer areas where people can afford the cars and stuff, and you see more cars. But in that aspect, I was super shocked. I was expecting more kind of like that Tokyo style where you have lights everywhere. But it felt like I was in the R at some point.
Word. And did you get to drive over there?
No, no, I
Okay.
would not drive over there. It's crazy.
Hmm.
It's
So
great.
you,
Maybe if I spend like like a good, let's say that if I was spending like a few months over there, then maybe I will build up the courage to drive over there. But I mean, if you thought New York was bad, as far as people getting caught in front of you and everything, man, dude, over there is crazy. Like for example, over here, when you're about to get in a U-turn lane, you usually wait till there's no cars. Over there, it was like,
hmm.
you're in the U-turn lane, you see a little wiggle room, you just gotta go, and people will essentially go around you or do whatever they gotta do. It's kind of like, uh first come, first serve when it comes to driving. Then same thing like in the traffic lights are not really, well, traffic lights are more respected, but like stop signs, the whole traffic lane, you're supposed to drive in a lane that isn't really respected. You essentially, you do what you gotta do, type of thing. It's like it's definitely a country where you got to be a super defensive driver and be always paying attention when you're driving.
I still don't think it tops DR.
Man, you got to go. You got to go. It's different, and I feel like, of course, that they will have their differences, and it's not like that everywhere, right? In the city, like you will see it more, where it's like you got to do what you got to do to get around. Same thing like in DR. Like if you're in the capital, it's you got to be a little more defensive. But once you like in DR, if my hometown, I'll drive fine, just because I already done it and I'm comfortable at that pace. And I feel like, let's say if I was to drive in the Philippines, I feel like I would start like in a small town and it kind of slowly start venturing out to like the big city and stuff like that.
Okay. Anything else from the Philippines you want to share?
Oh yeah, yeah. So the resort, so we went. Like I said, we spent half of the time in the city, half of the time in the resort. Man, one of the best experiences I had in my life, man. 2 days of continuously island hopping. As you probably can't tell, but I did get maybe like 2 shades darker. Uh, People say people's color don't don't get sunburned, but I got sunburned. My back is peeling right now, so are my arms. That's how intense the sun was, but it was a really good experience. Um, Got to see beautiful islands. Essentially, we went little island to from one little island to another little island, just doing different activities. Kayaking, snorkeling, um, swimming. Got lunch. We went to this like island. Got to eat lunch on the beach. It was super relaxing, super cool. Um, Also got to experience the nightlife over there. Man, Filipinos can drink. Filipinos can drink.
What do they drink though? Beer?
Beer, liquor. For some reason, we were drinking tequila. Me and tequila are kind of enemies, depending on the night. But yeah, beer. One of their bigger beers, like we have Presidente, they have San Miguel. If any, Presidente San Miguel, if you want to sponsor the boys, email in the link, email in the description. uh, but yeah, it was a fun experience, man. Overall, I wish I had more time to be able to experience a little more. And yeah, it's just vacation, man. You always feels too short.
Facts.
But
Okay.
how about yours, man? You got your first resort experience. Talk about that, man. How was that for you? What were you expecting versus the reality of it?
I'm gonna touch on the resort at the end because it was the last thing I
Mm-hmm.
did.
All right,
Um,
all right.
nah, but man, this trip was definitely different than
Mm-hmm.
most. I'd say, very different because I didn't go to my hometown with the family, and
Right.
different in the sense because I just improvised the whole trip. Like I didn't go with like an itinerary.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna do this day, this the next day. None of that. So I kind of just went. I mean, honestly, bro, I just wanted to get out of Chicago for a couple of days and
For
whatever,
right.
and just like reset, man. I just wanted to like be in
Mm-hmm.
another place, another country, whatever. Be able to just sit down on the porch, just relax, not have to worry about working. I really was chilling the majority of the time, but I really liked this trip because I got to do different things that I normally didn't do when I was in DR.
Right.
I was going to different provinces. I went to Santiago, check that
Mm-hmm.
out. Really, really beautiful
Yeah.
province. Went to this nice restaurant on like man, it's like very high altitude. It's like on a mountain, and you got the really nice
Mm-hmm.
overview of the city. Very beautiful, very peaceful, vibey. Went to the beach multiple times, something I normally didn't do when I was in DR for some
Right.
reason.
Right. Yeah. And that weird, man. You go to an
Yeah.
island, you don't even go to the beach.
Yeah, so went to the beach. Had some nice. I feel like you can't go to a beach in DR and not have a nice fried fish like un pescado frito.
Oh yeah, un
You gotta
pecado
have it's
frito
essential.
con. Yeah,
Although I would
man.
say they are. I don't know if they call it the gringo price, but they are taxing, man. Surprisingly, they know when you're a tourist. It's weird. I don't know, but like
Facts,
I'm
man. I
I'm the
feel like
type
they
of
can tell by
person
the color of your skin, man.
maybe, but I mean, yeah. But I'm the type of person that I'm not really a big negotiator. Like,
Mhm.
you give me a price, I'm just gonna be like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna be like going back and
Facts,
forth.
facts,
You know what
facts.
I'm saying? Like, although I would say one thing, I did go out to eat one night, and this is the highest bill I had while in DR.
Mm.
Not to mention, but um, long story short, the guy he told me well, I seen the price and I counted it like 5 times. I'm like, to make sure I had the right amount of money. I'm like, counted it. Bro, this man leaves, comes back. He's like, faltan mil. I'm like, what you mean?
Damn. Me?
He was only
Damn.
like 20 something dollars.
Yeah,
Like he said,
$20.
I was missing an amount. I was missing $20. Is what he said basically. I'm like, there's no way I counted it. But I wasn't gonna go back and forth with him. It was a nice sit down place. You know what I mean? I wasn't gonna like make a show. So I was like, whatever. So I gave him another one. I think he really got a bigger tip, honestly, because of that. I think he got the meal. He pocketed the meal plus the tip I gave
Right.
him. Also in DR, they're starting to implement a grat on every
The
bill.
gratuity. Ooh. Every
Benitevis.
bill?
Yeah, every bill.
Damn, man.
It's like 18%, I think, or 10%. Like that.
Dang,
I
dang.
don't
I
know.
mean, that's usually what we tip, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
but it, I don't know how to explain it. But sometimes, um, it's more than like it's just crazy.
right,
Yeah,
right. Because over here, usually the gratuity is on like if you have a big party like 6 people
exactly.
plus,
6 or more.
that's
Correct.
when they added it. Now I do want your. I'm glad you brought that up. What is your take? Like, if a restaurant is already adding the gratuity to your price, to your food price, um, do you leave an extra tip or do you just leave the gratuity?
So, as a former server, I understand, but I would say this:
Hmm.
if it's not a party of 6 or more, if it's just like me and someone or me and a couple friends, and
Right.
you add a grat, I'm just paying the grat because
Bad.
I feel like you're profiling. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
Because
Right.
there's no reason you should grat a party of two or a party of three. You know, it doesn't make
Hmm.
sense. So in that sense, just because it's a slap in the face, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just pay the grat. Oh, let me give you guys a tip. Me being a former server,
Hmm.
if it says the bill, if it says suggested gratuity, that means you're not obligated to pay that gratuity. Now, if it just says gratuity and like and it's included in the total, because sometimes, all right, if there's a subtotal in the total, you're only obligated to
Right.
pay the subtotal.
Right.
That's the key because that's without the grat. But
Correct.
when there's a when the gratuity is already included in the total, then that's different. But you can always ask them to remove it. You're not obligated to pay a gratuity. Now, if it's a party of 6 or more, you do, because the reason behind it is basically to cover the server. Because in my old
Right.
restaurant, I had to always pay out for my tips no matter what. So if I
Right.
didn't get a
Right.
tip from a big party, which covers a big amount of
A
sales,
bigger amount of set. Correct.
um I'm negative, you know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
basically
Right.
to help, and just know if you're going with a big party, you're expected to tip. You know what I mean? Just know that we're expecting to get gratted. But no, and to answer your question, no, bro. If it's a small party, I'll just pay the grat. You know what I mean? Not give extra because like, come on, bro. Like,
Right, right, right. Like you shouldn't like, I'll but that's I feel the same way because we both work in the restaurant industry and we know how hard work is. Like for me, my total rule is if I'm gonna go out to a restaurant, I'm already expecting put down a 20% tip. But
hmm
let's say if I get grad, like if they added the gratuity, I'm just leaving that just because, like you said, it feels like you're profiling me and just we just leave it at that. I'll give you the lowest amount. But
you know
usually
something
I'm
too, bro.
paying 20%.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious. I seen a meme or a reel, whatever. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how you want to classify it. I don't know how true this is, but
Right.
as a former restaurant, whatever worker, employee, server, whatever you want to call it, I didn't think this was disrespectful, but I saw a reel where it said if you like set up the plates after you eat, like basically like pre-bus for the server or the busser,
Right.
is disrespectful. I didn't know that was disrespectful. I thought it was a great thing to do.
Right. Yeah,
But
man. Like
they're
I'm
saying
making
they're
their
saying it's
job easier.
disrespectful. They're saying it's disrespectful because you're making it harder for them. I'm like, what? Because like basically they
In
have
what
more work.
way?
I have no idea, bro. It made no sense to me,
Honestly,
man.
this is my rule of thumb because I'm guilty of this. If you providing me good service, I'm like, when you're picking up the thing, man, I'm pretty buzzing. Yeah, I'm stacking the plates
Exactly.
for you, making it easy for you. Like you making the experience enjoyable. I'm gonna help you out, right? And
Exactly.
I don't know if it's the restaurant working experience, but that's just how I feel. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if we're going out like in a big party, where it's like five or six of us, I'm definitely, trying to any that's more of trying to make room in on the table, start pre-bussing the place, and then once the server comes around, they can just take, everything's already stacked for them. It's like you don't have to
Hmm.
work as hard. But
Right.
that's weird that people will find that disrespectful in a way.
Yeah, I don't get why they said that, but they saying it's just expect. I don't know. I really don't get it. But touching back on the DR thing, yeah.
Hmm.
So get into DR. I went through Punta Cana this time. Just because I
How
was
was it?
tired of connecting flights. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do
Yes.
connecting flights anymore. So
Yes,
I just
yes.
rather go directly to Punta Cana and work my way to the capital, and that's what I did. Did that. I would say I had to quickly shift over my driving mentality and lock in. Be like, all right, you're in
You
DR.
gotta lock in.
But I
You
would
gotta
say
lock
this,
in.
bro. I got it down to a T, man. Like it does not phase
Right.
me
Yeah,
at all
yeah,
to
yeah.
drive in DR at all. Like, man, I'm a professional. I was gonna say Chicago. A professional Dominican driver. Now I would say, you know what I'm saying, and bro, traffic. I know how to finesse it. All of that. Like
Hmm.
I'm really like that in DR, and I think Chicago because it get pretty hectic in downtown. When it's peak hours. So
Right,
it
right,
kind of
right.
teaches me how to maneuver. But I would say, nothing different in DR. Everything still is the same. I would say they're continuing to build, build and build and build. So the
Right,
future
right.
definitely looks promising.
It's
Um,
time to invest in some land over there, my boy.
yeah, that's a very important thing to do. Definitely could see myself in the future getting into that. I would say, I remember I went to breakfast in the area I was staying. I like to always
Hmm.
stay in this private area in the capital, like Copiantini. Supposedly it's like the upper class area, but it surprised me. Man. I went to get breakfast one morning at this like little sit down place. It was like a really nice, like really like small restaurant. But dope, man. The mango, I had a mango. I was craving a mango,
Ooh,
and
man.
tell me why. I'm like, man, I was sitting down. These girls were at the table like across from me,
Hmm.
and they were speaking English the whole time. I'm like, bro, these like, bro,
Like Dominicans or
yeah, yeah.
oh,
Like, so
word.
there's this conflict, like reference to Dominican Spanish 101 from the Vibras, Poppy. They're
Yes.
saying they're saying the Poppy girls are just like strange, man. Like, and basically they just be doing the most to seem different. And I guess speaking English in DR is just one of those things where
Man, I
you're
feel that.
Dominican, you're in a Spanish speaking country, and you're just speaking English full blast. Tell you, they're from there. I could guarantee you 1,000% they're from DR. They live there, and they're just
Right.
speaking English. I'm like, bro, there is no way I leave.
Damn.
You leave Chicago to come here English. Come on,
It's
man.
like, come on, throw some Spanish out there for me. Come on now. I'm tired. I
And they
hear
were
this
loud,
every day.
but yeah, man. But no, other than that, everything was smooth, man. I had a great time. Got to reflect on a lot of things. Um, Yeah, it was needed, man. It was needed, and it helped me a
Nah,
lot.
it's always
And
nice.
so yeah, so then eventually I worked my way to the resort.
Before you
Uh,
get to that
yeah,
part, I do have a question for you. So you
hmm,
flew Punta Cana instead of Santo Domingo.
yeah,
My question is immigration in Punta Cana a lot easier
yeah.
or is the one in Santo
Nah,
Domingo?
no, it's easier in Punta Cana because you're dealing with so many tourists. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have to cater to the tourists. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I
Okay,
would
okay.
say, it's definitely quicker, and the whole process is quicker. But one thing I would say, it seems as if the locals take care of the people more in Punta Cana you don't have you don't like they
Take something
respect you. They
menu.
respect you more. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Mhm.
people once you get out of the airport, like they're not really harassing you. Like, hey, come, let me take you.
Right.
Like they're
Right, right,
respectful.
right, right.
And there's a thing where my brother one time was telling me that there's no atracadores like that. Like it's not really a bad thing of atracos in Punta Cana
Mhm.
because it's
So,
very minimal because they're trying to you can't target
you
the
can't
people
mess
that
up
are
with the
bringing
money.
money exactly.
Exactly.
So that's a big topic there in DR. And I mean, hopefully it goes to the whole island itself and the atracos minimized. But something I did notice. But nah, I like the Punta Cana airport. It's very easy and quick and flows pretty quickly. But I will say this: always on the way back, I feel like I always have to deal with this. I don't know why, man. I don't know if you ever had to deal with it, but man, I'm always getting like I always get selected for further
Oh,
questioning.
you get bring it into the little dark room.
It's like, bro, and I hate my passport picture. I hate it,
Okay,
man,
okay,
because
okay, okay.
I had a big like pajong, and
That's probably why.
yeah, I stamp I get profile. I stamp I get profiled every time because of this
It's
freaking
like
picture.
this kid probably from New York.
Yeah,
I don't know
man,
what he doing
and
over there.
man, they made me open up my luggage, bro. Made me turn on the iPad.
Damn.
There was a guy that had to take out his MacBook and it had no charge, and they're like, you have to turn it on and find a charger, charge it. We need to see
Right.
what's like if it's I'm like, damn, they make you turn it on in front of
Damn,
them.
like that. I didn't
Yeah,
know that. Like, what are they checking for?
I don't know. I don't know,
That's
bro.
the first time I hear that,
Yeah, he
man.
had to turn it on, open it, put his password in, and they were like looking. I'm like, damn, like this is insane.
It's like,
They
what
had
if
me
I had
open the
something you're not
iPad.
supposed
Yeah,
to?
well, they had me open the iPad, turn it on. They seen, I mean, I have nothing on there because I use it just for the podcast, but
Right.
they seen it and they're like, okay, you're good. And they let me go. But man, still, like it's just and luckily, I don't know, I have this dong that I always get blessed with a worker at the airport that
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately I had no more money left, like cash, to
Mm-hmm.
give him a tip. And I didn't say nothing to him at first because I mean I needed the help. But he had like got
Right,
me
right,
from the
right.
line. He was like, man, te voy a ayudar, te voy a ayudar. Cause he seen I was frustrated. And he had made me cut the long line, helped me get into the front, took me to the people.
Dang.
He's like, dame algo ahí. And I'm like, yo no tengo nada.
No tengo nada.
And I'm
Damn,
like, yo
bro.
tengo estos $5. It's like the old school $5 that I keep in my
Yeah,
wallet.
yeah,
Like, like the $2 bill, the five. I had
yeah,
this,
yeah.
like, this, I never use it, but it's just there. I'm like, te doy este. He's like, no, no, está bien. Yo te bendiga. I'm like, all right, bet. Thank you. So he just
Damn,
said that,
bro.
but not, but like, backtracking though, going to the resort. First time ever on the resort. First time ever. Didn't know what to expect because I never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know what to do because I never done it before.
Right.
Didn't know what was included. Didn't I mean it was all inclusive. But now I know how to approach it. Like it's always good to take
Right.
like singles and small bills to tip.
Yes.
I had a lot of like Dominican pesos, like 50 and the hundreds. I was giving those out,
Mm-hmm.
but like now I know like it's good to have like dollar bills, $5, whatever, like
Yeah,
a
for
good
some
stack of
reason the
those.
resorts they like more like the American money for some
Yeah,
reason. I
yeah, I
don't know
know.
why, but they like that more.
But yeah, man, got there, was a bit stressed, with everything
Uh-huh.
because overwhelmed, I'd say, because I never
Yeah.
done it before, didn't know what to do. But got there. Luckily, my brother works at this resort, and I kind of, was getting treated like a king because of that. Got a nice upgrade thanks to
Ooh
my
wee.
brother. You know what I'm saying? Got a nice view of the beachfront.
Oh
Nice
yeah,
beachfront
yeah.
little condo, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the heck they're called. Had
That
that,
yeah.
and man, it was a great time. I like the resort. Because you kind of are getting that king treatment, but also like going at your own pace. If that makes sense.
Yes,
You could
yes,
pick and
yes.
choose what you want to do, but there's so many
Yeah.
things to do. You know,
Facts. A lot of activities for sure.
a lot of activities.
Especially when you stay at an all-inclusive
Yeah,
resort, is a different experience for those of you guys that never got to experience. It's like some of them will have like multiple restaurants, multiple places where you
yeah,
can eat. You can select what you want to eat for that day. Some of them
Yeah.
usually have like a buffet where you can,
Yeah.
essentially
The
whatever you
buffet the
want.
buffet gets tiring though. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yes. I like going
repetitive.
to the more specialized like
Yeah.
restaurants and stuff.
So
Uh,
I didn't get to reserve anything, but luckily, like I said, my brother works there, so we had some sort of connect, and
hmm
I got reservations to like the restaurants. I would say
hmm
this: although I had a great time overall, got to do different things, did a boat party, did a couple excursions while there.
Okay, okay.
Um, never again, never again will I do a resort alone.
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah,
that. I feel like a resort is something that you got to go with a companion, whether it
or
is,
friends, exactly.
friends or, a partner. It's
Yeah,
just a different level
yeah,
of the experience is just different,
yeah,
especially when you do the excursions.
yeah.
When you go like the snorkeling stuff,
Yeah,
it's
but
just like a
luckily,
good.
yeah, but luckily I met people like on the boat party.
hmm
I met this couple from Chicago,
Oh,
surprisingly.
that's what's up.
Yeah, and I went snorkeling.
Hey
Man,
man,
this is my biggest man. I don't know how to swim.
it's a bit. Oh, come on,
Yeah,
man! You can't be saying that. Like, come on, man. So
yeah,
you
I
had your
don't know,
life vest on the whole time, huh?
man. And I was still feeling like I was drowning. I was swallowing straight salt water, bro. I'm like,
Oh man,
golly, bro.
Lord.
It was
But
it was bad, man.
but I feel like now that you know what to expect, like you may find a way to start learning.
It was
maybe
bad,
take
man.
maybe take a couple classes at the Y or something.
It was bad, man. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
just
Nah,
flopping, bro. Just flopping, bro. I'm like, damn. I
is this
swear,
your
life
first
vests
time
don't do
snorkeling
anything.
though?
Yeah, first time.
How was it, man? What
Very,
was your
I
experience?
was very optimistic. Well, optimistic, and I was really like, should I do this? Because I don't like the fact that they're reusable, like
Like mask and yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
mouth. You
I
know
mean,
what
they
I'm
get
saying?
sanitized, but no, I know
Sanitizer, what?
exactly what you
Water?
mean. Well, I mean, they usually clean them when you return them. I don't know. Apparently, supposedly, they're supposed to. Do they do it? I don't know. But no, I was telling, I was saying the same thing, like because it just seems like I've been doing kind of like a trip where it involves snorkeling, and doing little excursions like that. I was thinking maybe investing in a nice pair of like, mask and goggle just so I
Mm-hmm.
can avoid because you never know what people may be. You don't know if they're actually clean them or not. And this is a way to actually know that they're clean.
Yeah. But nah, I mean I had a good time though, man. I would say like the reason I say I wouldn't do it alone again is just because I'm a person, bro, that likes to
You like to
and
socialize.
socialize, but it feels bad that we can enjoy things alone because I did enjoy it, but it's just one of those things where I feel like being with someone or being with friends, it just feels
Right.
better, man. I don't know
And it
why. You
feels
could
more
just
fun.
yeah, it definitely feels more fun. I mean, because everyone there is either with family or with their partner, so it's kind of like you kind of
Right.
feel like the odd man out. If that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Right, right.
So that's part of it, I'd say. You know what I'm saying? Because
Nah, I feel you on that one. For sure, like a resort with a group of friends or with somebody, man, is it's
but
a different
but I
experience.
mean, I still
Yeah,
have fun though. I still have fun. Luckily,
that's
like I said,
at
my
the end of
brother,
the day,
but
that's all that matters, right?
because my brother worked there, so I always was, people were treating me like great. You know what I'm saying? And also, I would always spend time with him after he got off. Like we would do
Right, right,
things.
right.
So it's like
I
that's
feel that's
why.
a
But
good way, like to do a resort, like for the first time. I feel like that's the best case scenario. Knowing somebody that works there, that way they
yeah,
can kind of point you out in the right direction. It's like, okay, you should try this. This is what people like doing. Try this and that. They
I would
might.
say,
I don't know if he gave you any warnings of to what food not to eat, what food to eat, and stuff like that.
yeah. No, I would say this though, and this would be the last thing I'd say about the resort.
hmm
Um, the Sanky Banky thing is real.
Yes, sir. I didn't want to ask you that. I wanted to ask you that too.
It's a real thing, man. It's a real thing. It just surprises me how gullible these women are. I mean, even the men, but more you see it more with the American women, like
Women, yeah.
the older women. Um,
Hmm. I mean, they
it's just surprising how
come,
gullible they are. Like
yeah.
I was talking to the guys because I wanted to get their perspective from it, and the guys that are retired Sanky Pankis, and they were
Hmm.
telling me like, man, it's not easy. Like you got to really play a role, act like you're in love with someone, and be. They said that the problem with these women is that they've required the men to be on a video call with them like for
Lord.
the majority of the day, like 8-10 hours a day. They're like, man, that gets
Sheesh.
so tiring. Like you have to
Yo,
talk to this person the whole
facts.
day, and they're saying that's the biggest part of it that they can't really enjoy is that
Hmm.
they always got to be like kissing somebody's feet. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to because you're trying to come to the United States. But like,
Facts. 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 You're
uh,
trying to go over there,
but
come
nah,
over
but
here
it's
and
it's definitely a crazy thing, man, to look at.
I agree, man. I agree. And I mean, I get it from the women perspective, especially because, most of the women that I guess fall to I wouldn't say to this like scam or whatever, but most of the women that go through this process are usually divorced older women,
Hmm.
specifically white women,
Yeah.
and they go to a resort, meet a, I can't say good looking, but let's say they meet a younger guy that is willing to do, give them some attention. What you think they're gonna do?
Yeah, but they're so gullible though, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it, man.
I
I don't get how they hear the stories and they still fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna knock their hustle, man. The guys or
Hey,
the women.
gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, man. But nah, man. Other than that, the trip went great. You know, I had a great time, like I said, and got to reset and got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of. He's got to reflect on so many things, like I mentioned earlier. And now I'm in
Right.
back in Chicago and with more peace of mind, and yeah, I feel good. It's the important
Nah,
thing.
it's always good, man. That's always good, especially after, like I said, we both been grinding, in our jobs. I've been grinding both the job and the side hustle. We've been grinding on the podcast, trying to make things happen. And I feel like for the both of us was well deserved trips. I'm glad that we both got to enjoy it. Definitely tried different things. Um, yeah, yeah, man. How will you rate? I guess my last question is, how will you rate the resort part of the trip?
I
Like if you were
mean,
to
the
rate it,
resort. I mean, alone. You know what I'm saying? I would say I would rate
taking
it
that
like.
part out, yeah,
I mean, nah, I have to put that part because that's how I experienced it. You know what I'm saying?
true, okay,
Alone, I'd say 7 out of 10. You know what I
not
mean?
bad,
But if
not
it was
bad.
with
I thought you were
somebody,
gonna
I
say
know it would have
lower.
been 10 out of 10 for sure.
Right, right, right. Well, I think that's all I have. But
Yeah.
hopefully, we can get to where we can start taking podcast vacations.
Facts.
Hit up the resorts, the Beavers and the resorts, and we can do that.
No facts. Nah, but yeah, let's close. Yeah, we gotta close this out. All right,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah. Oh
I
man,
mean,
48 minutes, man.
yeah,
This flew by, just
yeah.
like vacation did.
Damn. Nah, but
But
thank you
anyways,
guys. Thank you
guys.
guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being patient. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
guys for sticking there, and those who have subscribed. The subscribers still going up. Thank you guys
Yep,
for
yep.
subscribing. Thank you for joining the the Vieras family. Thank you for all the support, all the love. Make sure that if you
Yes, sir.
haven't subscribed and you're listening to this or watching this, hit that subscribe button. Also, like this
100%.
video. It helps the video get out there to other people. But most
Yes, sir.
importantly,
Yes, sir.
comment something down below. Comment happy birthday, Wanda Don.
Yes,
Comment
sir.
DR, comment Philippines, comment
Beans.
something on
Mm-hmm.
this video that can get the algorithm booming here in the
Yes, sir.
Vibras
Yes,
podcast.
sir.
Any last words, sir?
Hey man, go out there, be great, man. I hope you guys get to take trips, experience new things, experience new cultures, different cultures, and just get, a couple days where you guys can, just relax, disconnect from the world. And just recharge. I hope you guys been out there killing it. While we are getting ready to come into September in a couple days, in a week or so. Hope you guys so far this year has been everything you guys planned for it to be, and hope this year to be. And yeah, let's keep grinding. Let's keep, thank you guys for the support as well. We're going to keep grinding, keep doing our thing. We're trying to always become better podcaster, trying to bring the best conversations that we can as well.
Facts.
But that will be all from me.
Facts. Nah, my last thing to say is definitely don't be afraid to do things alone. That's it. Do things alone. Although you may not enjoy it as you will. You may enjoy it. I mean, maybe someone would rather. Maybe someone else would rather do a resort alone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Maybe they will.
Right.
Right. But I don't know. Just don't be afraid to do things alone. Keep thriving, and also find ways to better yourself. Here, since we're getting close to the end of the year, we're getting into September, like Michael said. So find ways to continue improving yourself, and continue to better yourself and those around you. Thank you guys, like we always say here, thank you for supporting us always. Thank you for the continuous love. But as always, as we say, remember to subscribe, and let's vibe. Nos vemos.
Nos vemos el año que viene.